Hello, my name is David Satterwhite, and this is my presentation on empowerment theory, a case analysis. I would like to begin this presentation with a roadmap of topics to be discussed in this presentation. First, this presentation will look at a case involving a natural mother whose child was removed from her care due to alcohol abuse and neglect. Next, we will explore empowerment theory and its implications for the service user. And lastly, we will provide a brief assessment of the impact of the environment on the individual. The client I will discuss is loosely based on a parent I work with in the foster care system. For the sake of confidentiality, I will call her Ms. Ivanov. Ms. Ivanov is a 41-year-old Russian immigrant who immigrated from Russia a few years ago. Ms. Ivanov has relapsed 2 times since her case opened, but has made some remarkable progress and has been testing clean for several months now. She desperately wants to be reunited with her daughter, but has had some challenges with completing ACS requirements. As the Eagle map illustrates, Ms. Ivanov has both negative and positive relationships. Ms. Ivanov has deep-rooted issues with the child welfare system. She takes issue with their power to determine where her child was placed, unreasonable requirements to be reunited with her daughter, rules surrounding her visitations, and bias towards biological mothers. She also has a negative relationship with her baby's father and his family, which happens to be her child's foster care placement, something that she despises. Ms. Ivanov does have some positive relationships and connections. Despite her feelings of isolation, as she is separated from her family who lives in Russia, Ms. Ivanov has positive supports at her rehab program and has formed a budding friendship with a peer from her group. Although far away, her mom is also a significant support for her. And finally, although Ms. Ivanov has a distrust of the judicial system, she speaks very highly of her lawyer and feels that she is very invested in helping her to be reunited with her daughter. Let's now look at the key themes in empowerment theory. The first theme is that social work is viewed as fundamentally hopeful. The second key theme focuses on the dual working focus on individuals and their social, political, and physical environments. They also view interactions as collaborative partnership with clients, client groups, and constituents. The operating assumption is that clients are active subjects and claimants. And lastly, the focus of social work's professional energies are towards historical disempowered groups and individuals. So what are the implications for the service user? Empowerment theory is well suited for the field of child welfare, which can be inherently negative and biased towards biological parents. This theory shifts the perception of biological parents as unworthy, unfit, helpless, deserving of child removal, and undeserving of reunification. By focusing on parents, or in this case, Ms. Ivanov's strengths, we can give her a sense of agency and empowerment to change their own lives, resolve their problems, and realize the goal of being reunified with their children. It is of note that Ms. Ivanov has made progress in her recovery. This strength should be highlighted. From an empowerment perspective, Ms. Ivanov proves everyone is capable of change, even when she had setbacks. Workers in the field can use empowerment theory to change how they think about biological parents. They can change, there is hope, and they can have a stable and successful family life. This theory can help us understand Ms. Ivanov and other parents with ACS involvement circumstances by acknowledging systemic problems and inequities in the child welfare system. The child welfare system is flawed, and there's no getting around that. Empowerment theory requires that social workers in this field acknowledge these deficits and give validity to people's experiences with the system. Ms. Ivanov has highlighted some of these flaws and biases. The visitation policy can be biased to parents by requiring them to confirm visits, canceling if they run late, and being supervised in restrictive environments. Empowerment theory sees personal growth and social change as interdependent. Therefore, social workers should not only work with clients on the individual level, but also work behind the scenes to change inequities in the social environment, in this case, the child welfare system. This theory matters because it gives a sense of empowerment to oppressed individuals and families. One thing Ms. Ivanov takes issue with is the power that ACS has enacted over her life by removing her children and then placing them in the home of a family she despises. Ms. Ivanov also experiences oppression by the child welfare system, as a system she interacts with is inherently biased. She also experiences oppression based on her positionality as a woman. Empowerment theory matters because it gives hope and increases personal power so that the individual can take action to change their own circumstances, even in the face of oppressive environments. Power dynamics may be an area of concern for social workers using this theory. Because empowerment theory focuses on empowering others, it inherently speaks to a power dynamic in the client-user relationship. But this limitation can be avoided through critical reflection, awareness of power dynamics in the relationships, and actively listening to clients' needs and intentional collaboration. The child welfare system does have a significant impact on Ms. Ivanov. From her perspective, the agency has taken her child and placed her with a family she does not get along with. The system can and has made her feel powerless. She also sometimes feels very defeated in her journey to regain custody of her child. For instance, Ms. Ivanov feels that the requirement to show stable housing and to be employed is absurd, given the demand for her to participate in rehab, which she attends every day. Her feelings of discouragement places her at risk for potentially relapsing and not achieving the goal of reunification with her daughter. Using empowerment theory, we can help Ms. Ivanov overcome these negative feelings by acknowledging her progress and efforts. In addition, we can promote her growth and change by effecting change in the child welfare system through advocacy and confronting biased policies and attitudes. Ms. Ivanov does have supports that do have a positive effect on her, including her rehab program, peer group, lawyer, and her mother. They act as a form of encouragement for her to achieve her goals and realize the goal of being reunited with her daughter. Ms. Ivanov's risk factors include alcohol dependency, housing instability, and feelings of isolation due to her immigration status. Her protective factors include connections with her mother, developing new relationships, engagement with therapy, and alcohol rehabilitation, and also learning skills to cope with negative emotions without using alcohol. Using Erickson's theory of development, Ms. Ivanov is in the stage of generativity versus stagnation, She is concerned about leaving a legacy and contributing to the next generation. This makes sense as Ms. Ivanov is deeply invested in bringing her child home and being a good parent. This may have been different if she were younger. Perhaps if she was younger, she would be more concerned with having fun and getting drunk. But at this stage, her biggest concern is raising her daughter. As we know, Erickson's theory of development is based on stages which require mastery for positive development. Empowerment theory can help here by letting Ms. Ivanov know that reunification is possible and she can have the stable family she desires.